So wanted to reach out to you. It's my first night video because today's been so crazy. I've been in back-to-back appointments. Actually, some from people who've actually inquired on these videos. So thank you for those of you who reached out. Had me traveling all the way down to south of Orange County, so that was definitely quite a drive, but it was awesome. I got to sit with someone, and we're gonna be able to do some really cool work together, a little bit of a partnership there. But today we're gonna cover the topic, we're gonna cover the term bonds, just simply because you can't talk about investing in these days without, we've talked about stocks, you also have to have in that conversation bonds, and many other things too there. But the term bonds refers to the situation where a company or a country is looking to gather funds. So they are looking to borrow money from someone else. So they will issue a bond, and that bond basically states that you are going to, that company or country is going to borrow money from somebody else, and at a future date they are going to pay back whatever amount they borrowed plus interest. So you can look at it this way. Let's say a bond today, that company borrows $100 from you, okay? And they're gonna pay 5%, and they're going to pay that back to you in a year, okay? So 5% in a year would be an amazing bond, which is not something you're gonna find out there, but to give you an idea, right? So let's say they're paying 5% on that bond. That 1 year later, you're going to get your 100 back plus 5%, so you'll get $105. Now look at it this way. This is where you think, okay, well that's really stable if you're willing to wait that full year. But let's say a couple weeks goes by and you're like, you know what? I don't want this bond anymore, and I'm going to sell it back. Okay, so you could potentially, theoretically, sell that $100 bond to someone else for $105, or maybe it's $104 just simply because you're cashing in early, right? But here's where that falls down, and this is where bonds, it's a misconception, or something that people don't realize. Bonds can actually lose value. Let's say that someone can go back to that company and borrow that, and they can get that same bond. They can give that company $100, and in return they're going to get 10%. So at the end of a year they're going to get $110. Why would that person want to buy your bond that's only going to make them $105, as opposed to go down the street and get a bond that's worth $110? Kind of makes your bond a little less valuable, doesn't it? So just like stocks, bonds also can lose value. So it's an interesting thing to know that both stocks and both bonds can go up and go down. Bonds can be more safe and secure, just simply if you're willing to hold out for the full amount of time for that bond, okay? So just a little tidbit there on bonds. So now we've covered stocks and bonds, and we'll cover a couple other major important topics when it comes to investing. And with that, definitely, like, follow, the whole thing. Tell me if there's any other areas that you specifically could use some help with. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.